Everybody, I got a recording in progress.
Okay. All right, I think I'd like to get this meeting in motion. I'd like to call to order. I'll accept a, I'll take a motion for to approve the minutes of February 7, 2022.
Move approval.
Second.
Good, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm not voting.
Appointments, recognitions, and resignations. One abstention for Martha. Appointments, recognitions, and resignations. Confirm reappointment of Joel Nolan to the Mount Desert Housing Authority Board of Commissioners for a 5-year term beginning March 1, 2022.
Move approval with thanks.
Second.
Good. All in favor? Terrific. Confirm reappointment of Dan Fall to the Mount Desert Housing Authority Board of Commissioners for a 5-year term beginning March 1, 2022.
Move approval with thank you.
Second.
All in favor? Great. Consent agenda. Warrant Committee minutes from February 1, 2022. Island Housing Trust application, 2022 Hancock County tax commitment. Hancock County Commissioners meeting minutes from February 1, 2022, and amendment to Acadia Boundary Act.
Would move we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
Right, all in favor? Okay. Selectmen's report. Any? None? Awesome. Unfinished business. Selectmen. Order charter referendum for the May 2, 2022 secret ballot election.
John's community partners.
Oh, okay, cool.
Charter referendum for the May 2, 2022 ballot, secret ballot election.
So basically, you just have to sign an order to include the referendum on the warrant.
Okay.
I have them for you to sign after the meeting.
Okay, so we don't need to make a motion here. Our signature serves as a motion and acceptance.
I think you need to vote to accept it, and you already kind of did to, you know, put it on the warrant. So this is just the formality of signing the order.
Okay, well, I'll take a motion anyway, what the heck.
I'll move.
Voting on A?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll move we accept and add to the warrant the charter referendum as presented in our packet.
Second.
Good. All in favor? Okay. Second item of business, local liquor option referendum for the May 2nd, 2022 secret ballot election.
Would move we accept and add to the warrant the local liquor option referendum as presented.
I think we all in favor. I think we also voted on that one.
Yeah. To make it a secret.
I do have one question, Claire. So the to get rid of the sunset provision, and maybe I should have read through all the fine print, but before and even now, if we amend that, if the town amends that at some point, does the clock restart on that 15 years, or what will now be, I guess, 5 years?
No, basically what we're doing is we're getting rid of that unless for some reason that the attorneys wouldn't recommend.
Right. I mean, before, if it got amended at some point during that 15-year span, did the clock reset?
It should be reset,
okay.
Yeah.
And we'll do the same, we're gonna review them every 5 years now, but if they get amended, does that clock kind of?
Well, so there won't be a clock.
Okay, just every 5 years we'll
Every
go
5
over all
years,
of them.
if you haven't reviewed an ordinance that comes up, you'll.
Okay. That'll be easier to keep track of.
Yes.
Okay, item C, get ready. Consideration of the following, all related to the Beach Hill Crossroad Culvert Replacement Project, in parentheses, project, in conformance with the DEP Stream Smart program, and all contingent on voter approval of the applicable warrant article at the May 3rd, 2022 annual town meeting. Award of the construction contract in the amount of $418,913 to RF Jordan. Award of the engineering construction contract and administration and inspection contract in the amount of $43,500 to VHB. Engineering, Authorization of a contingency amount of $12,500 for unforeseen conditions that occur during the project for a total project cost of $475,000, with the town cost reduced to $360,000 by a DEP Stream Smart grant of $115,000, and authorization by the Select Board as their designee of Public Works Director Tony Smith to execute all contracts and documents and do all things necessary or convenient to accomplish the project on behalf of the town.
So can I ask a question? Tony, is Tony on? Tony's
Sure.
gotta be on. If I'm reading this correctly, you put this out to bid and received no bids,
Correct.
and then approached RF Jordan, since they're already working with us on another project, and
Yes.
they gave you a price which was higher than the engineers estimated, but not so high that anybody involved thought it was too high. Is that a
That's
nutshell?
correct. Correct. And prices nowadays are all over the map. With
So basically, the price a little higher than they thought, but it was something that needed to be done, and we got 115,000 in order to go forward with it, so it made
Yes.
sense to me. Okay.
Thank you.
So do we need just a motion on all four of those parts in his memo?
Yep.
Well, I would move that, although $400,000 for a culvert seems just insane to me, I will
It's
move
not.
that it's not.
No, it's
Okay.
the reason it's called stream state. It's actually one of the culverts to be replaced is 5 feet wide, 4 feet high. It's called a haunch culvert, and it's rotten.
Okay.
Beside it is there's a 2-foot. What we have to replace this with is a concrete box culvert that's 15 feet by 6 feet high, open space.
That's good to know, so that when people say, what? 'Cause, you know,
Not just a pipe in the road.
no, I figured it was more than that,
It's
but
a high quality.
I appreciate that. That's good information for me to have if somebody comes up to me and
Yes.
says, what in the
And-
world is that all about?
If I may, we have to mimic the stream bed inside that box culvert. And there's a way that you determine the size of the stones, so bugs and invertebrates can rest on the way through.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
I
All
like
right then.
The-
Well, I would move that we approve all four of the suggestions that Tony put in his memo, beginning with awarding RF Jordan the contract, giving engineering firm VHB the 43,000 to, and then the contingency funding, and authorizing Tony to be the spokesperson in signing and executing contracts and documents.
Second.
Good, all in favor?
Thank you.
Good,
This will be
Good.
one of the articles you'll be reviewing in a few minutes.
all right.
Yeah, sure.
Draft warrant articles. Did I leave that?
You want me?
I got those.
That's
That's
okay.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah, 46.
it's just 46, 47, 48, 51.
Just before the new business in the packet.
I think it was only like 2 pages,
Yeah,
4 articles.
yep.
Okay, Article 46. Shall the town of Mount Desert, the town, be authorized to appropriate an amount not to exceed $360,000 from the capital gains reserve account number 400-24202 to finance professional technical design, construction contract administration, inspection, and construction services associated with drainage improvements for the Beach Hill Crossroad, the road, in the general area where Dennings Brook crosses under the road, said improvements to be in conformance with the Maine DEP Protection Stream Smart program requirements, and with said repairs to include, but not necessarily be limited to, replacing 2 corroded metal pipes with a concrete box culvert, placing stone riprap for stabilization and erosion control on the embankments along both sides of the road, erecting guardrails along the top of the embankments along both sides of the road, and placing earthen earth and fill, loam and seed in the area, and other amenities and appurtenances required to complete the improvements, and further shall the Board of Selectmen or its designee be authorized to execute any and all contracts and documents and do all things necessary or convenient to accomplish the project.
I would move the Board of Selectmen recommends passage.
I would second that.
Yes,
Oh,
All in favor?
I'm just ready to vote.
Yep. Very good. Article 47. So shall the town of Mount Desert, the town, be authorized to appropriate the amount an amount not to exceed $220,000 from the capital gains reserve account number 400-24202 to finance professional technical design, construction, contract administration, inspection, and construction services associated with improvements and repairs to approximately 200 lineal feet of erosion of the Seal Harbor Beach shoreline eroded by a strong storm surge in 2020. Said damaged area located in the northeasterly portion of the waters of Seal Harbor per se, and located in general down over the embankment westerly of the Steamboat Wharf Road, with said improvements and repairs to include, but not necessarily be limited to, placing geotextile, anchor boulders, stone riprap, earth and fill, loam and seed, and other amenities and appurtenances required to complete the improvements and repairs, and further shall the Board of Selectmen or its designee be authorized to execute any and all contracts and documents and do all things necessary or convenient to accomplish the project.
Would move that the Board of Selectmen recommends passage.
Second.
Is it all in favor?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may, on Article 46, that needs to be changed and strike technical design. That's been done. That's how we got our bid documents. See, that's my fault. See the third sentence or third line?
Right.
Technical design's been done and bid.
Move that the Board of Selectmen recommend passage as amended.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor? Article 48. Shall the town of Mount Desert, the town, be authorized to appropriate an amount not to exceed $75,000 from the capital gains reserve account number 400-24202 to finance costs associated with furnishing and installing 23 new Anderson TW 422 tilt wash 400 series double hung windows or equivalent in the town office building, including the administration area, the hallway between it and the meeting house, and the meeting house itself, with additional work to include furnishing and installing the materials necessary to complete the installation in conformance with current generally accepted industry standards, including but not necessarily limited to trimming out the windows on both the inside and outside of the building to match what is presently there, to make any necessary repairs to the wood frame structure of the buildings and the location of the windows that might be identified, to insulate around the windows, and other amenities and appurtenances required to complete the improvements. And further shall the Board of Selectmen or its designee be authorized to execute any and all contracts and documents and do all things necessary or convenient to accomplish the project.
I would move the Board of Selectmen recommends passage.
Second.
I do have one.
Yes, go ahead.
Would these windows, these very specific windows, match up with potentially what would be used if in May the voters approve the fire department project?
That was my question. Does it have anything
I
to do?
don't know, but we can check.
Okay.
And you'll notice, Matt, after the specific description, it says or equivalent.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I would
that's
agree
the
with the
leeway we have.
And we're satisfied with the energy efficiency of these windows?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and the appurtenances. Don't forget the
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Don't
gonna
fix
say.
those. Gotta have appurtenances.
I like that word, Tony. That's an awesome word. Okay.
Thank you, Chairman.
Oh, my word.
Okay, article, okay. Motion,
We had a motion
Yes.
and a second.
all in favor? Thank you. All right, Article 51. Shall the town of Mount Desert, the town, be authorized to appropriate an amount not to exceed $448,000 from the Harbor's Marina Enterprise Fund undesignated fund balance, unrestricted net position, account number 600383300 to finance construction contract administration, inspection, and construction services associated with the replacements of and improvements to the North Concrete cantilevered abutment and adjacent area, e.g. the marina abutment to the south concrete cantilevered abutment and adjacent area, e.g. the public float access abutment, with said improvements to include, but not necessarily being limited to, demolition and removal of the existing concrete north and south cantilevered abutments and associated concrete bases to be replaced with new concrete abutments and associated bases, excavation, furnishing and installing granite veneer, and other amenities and appurtenances required to complete the improvements. And further, shall the Board of Selectmen or its designee be authorized to execute any and all contracts and documents and do all things necessary or convenient to accomplish the project.
I would move the Board of Selectmen recommends passage.
Second.
All in favor? That's it for draft warrants. Right?
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
New business, Trek Travel LLC, Public Space Special Special Event Application, Northeast Harbor Village Green, for picnic lunches and bike fitting, Sundays starting June 6, 2022 through August 7, 2022. 7 days.
I recommend that I make a motion that we not accept this application.
I would second that.
Yeah. Does she need to make the motion in the
Should
public?
be in a positive,
Yeah.
move it and then vote it down.
Yeah.
How can that be positive?
You vote for it and then vote it.
Oh, okay. I recommend approving the application.
Second.
Good. Any further discussion?
Just as a clarifying, this is a different
Yes.
organization,
Yes.
and there was a mention of bringing their own tables, which changed it a little bit, but are we still,
No.
okay.
Right, I think the concern is if you look at their plan online for the
Okay.
Acadia trip, it's
The same.
still the same, staying and dining in Bar
Yep.
Harbor and not generating
Fair
business
enough.
here.
Yeah. Howie, go ahead.
I pretty much wanted to say those same sentiments that you guys have already said, that it is a different company. However, their behaviors are exactly the same as you've identified, that they're coming to Northeast Harbor to set up their arrangements for the first time. They're running their business out of the marina for that moment. They're setting up their bikes, and then they're riding over to Bar Harbor and spending all their money and their stay in Bar Harbor. And you know, we've worked with a couple of other people, Vermont Bikes, stay at the Ostaku, and Backroad Bikes you guys worked with last year to find a different resolution. And we ask for the same thing again, that you don't approve this for all of those reasons. And it's every Sunday, you know, for as a major event. And I think your major events, if I look through the documentation of major events, it says that you're only supposed to allow 4 in a calendar year. So I'm not even sure how that works, you know, on that regard too. So,
Okay.
Fair enough.
Hi, everyone.
and
If I may.
this is from the Harbor Committee, that, you know, that we're making that statement on behalf of the Harbor Committee.
Thank you.
Right.
My name's Amy. I'm the one who submitted the application. Hopefully you can hear me. I appreciate listening to the discourse on this, and I appreciate you even considering the application. I just wanted to say that we tried to spend money in Northeast Harbor. I tried to get reservations at the Astaku. We've had lunches at the Nor'easter, and we've tried, but it seems that our groups are too big, or the Astaku in particular said they've got other bike groups and they can't accept our reservations. So it's not without the lack of trying to spend money in and around Northeast Harbor. And I also want to let you know that we have since canceled the last 2 trips. So it would be 5 Sundays in a row. So I don't know if that will change your mind, but that's I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Okay, thank you. Citizen request to store or park 12 tractor trailers in the Gray Cow parking lot from April 18 through May 16. Trailers to be removed before Memorial Day weekend is outlined in this memo to Town Manager Durlin Lott of February 11, 2022.
This is two different 5-day periods, but the request is for that continuous, is my understanding. My concern would just be that promising to move a trailer by Memorial Day weekend is great, but once the trailer's there, I mean, how much guarantee can we have that this project's going to be completed? It's a housing thing.
Yeah. The prefabs?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it seems, I don't know. It's concerning with all the discussion about parking we've had in the last year.
Right, I will say, and Tony, you might know more about this, that space has been used before, though, for sort of staging of private construction projects. And I would share Jeff's concern. That's my one concern, is that it would absolutely have to be out of there well before Memorial Day. And I see, Tim, you're here. Do you think they could be positioned in such a way that even when, like during those 2 5-day periods, it would still allow access for like parking if you were running into Milton Honey or the museum or something, whatever?
How much space will they take up? Can you?
18-wheeler, whatever.
Yeah.
Without the cab.
Yeah.
45 feet long usually.
Okay.
Just for 5 days, and then there's Tony's suggestion to be continuous, but so we'll park 5 days, unload them, and put them on the property, and then the company will take their trailers away, stack them, and drive them away. And then again, I can't remember the date, but it's.
So is the company that brings these trailers the same company that would be installing the?
We're installing.
Okay.
Local.
And so, okay.
They're just dropping them off from Pennsylvania, and we'll drive away, come back.
So you have a contractor, a local contractor that's all set, and they understand that those dates are not flexible. Okay.
You can hear Ben right now clearing.
And I would think they would want to get them out and get them back. They must be on a time.
I'm sure that time of year, okay.
The positive is that sort of second trip, May 10th, so I guess that would mean they'd be out there by like the 15th or 16th. It does give us a few days.
Right.
Like, we know in advance, like, oh, those aren't going to be out of there, and we could figure out a solution.
And we can have Ben move them onto the property, it's just more convenient.
Okay.
Time. It'll be faster if we can just do it this way.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Thank you.
Right.
I would move approval of the request to utilize the Gray Cow lot for this construction project as presented.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Good.
Okay.
Service groups, third-party requests. Okay. I would ask that anyone present on behalf of their organization, please keep their presentation to 3 minutes.
Or less.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Hi, Lieutenant Edgecombe here from the police department.
Yes.
My Chief Willis had a late addition for a full-time Mount Desert dispatcher. I didn't hear that on the approval of appointment at the beginning, 3rd.
Yeah.
That was on your revised
Right.
memo.
It wasn't on the version, but the
Right,
electronic
because these
version.
had already gone out.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get that.
I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
This email,
Well, email to what? To our town account?
no.
Yeah.
Can you pull it up on your phone, Jeff?
Yep, I can.
Yeah.
Not this, but revised agenda. Okay.
That's good. Dispatchers are hard to find.
Yes,
Yep.
they are.
So we're looking, that's just the agenda. I need the whole thing, right? No, it doesn't do it.
No,
Okay, hold on.
nope.
Unfinished business, new business.
It should be item C under appointments.
Oh, it is.
It is there.
Can you read it?
Yep. Okay, and the item C under new business says, appoint Emily Finson as full-time dispatcher at a rate of $23.42 per hour, effective February 21, 2022.
Would move approval as presented. Welcome aboard.
Second.
Great. All in favor? Good. Excellent.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks.
Thanks, congratulations on finding someone. All right, now we'll move to the third-party requests. First organization, the KDNU Sports.
There's no, yes.
Oh, no, that's the Katie family.
Oh,
Center.
that's sorry.
See if
The wrong
maybe-
one.
Yeah, wrong one.
the KDNU Sports.
KDNU Sports. yes.
Kyle
Yep.
McCammon.
KDNU Sports.
Anybody here?
Kyle.
Hi, everybody. Kyle McCammon. I'm on the board of directors for KDNU Sports. I won't take 3 minutes. It'll be less than that. Anybody that doesn't know, we provide, we're a nonprofit, provides youth sports opportunities for the entire island, Trenton and parts of Lemoyne. We serve about on a yearly basis, about a third of our kids are from the Mount Desert area. Our request is the same as last year, $2,000 to help us keep up with the constant need for refurbishing and replacing equipment, be it baseball, softball, basketball, golf, cheering. And our football program has taken some hits, and to rework that into a way that attracts more kids in these past couple of years. So any excess of that 2,000 is earmarked for helping kids pay the registration fees that come with it, because we won't turn anybody away that wants to play, but it does help us cover those costs for entering ourselves in those leagues and all those sorts of things.
I have a question about that. It says $100 is the fee to charge to register for a sport. Is that no matter which sport? Are they all the same? Are they?
They're all, that's the average of the three. It ranges from 125, from 75 to 25 across the sports, depending on what you're playing.
All righty.
Okay. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, could you come up here, please?
Sure. So Kyle, I'm on the warrant committee. If there's leftover money from the $2,000 that the town of Mount Desert gives you, is that earmarked for a town of Mount Desert kids registration fee, or does it just go into a general pool?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I misspoke. We earmark it for Mount Desert kids. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anything else for AYS? No. Okay, nothing from the Aid Society. American Red Cross Pantry chapter. Is Rachel on?
That one would be.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody for The Red Cross? No.
I did send out email reminders with the link last week.
Yeah. Okay, moving on then, Bar Harbor Food Pantry.
Hello, Tom Reed here. I'm the new executive director for the Bar Harbor Food Pantry. Today is my second day, so if you have questions, I'll try my best. We are requesting $3,500 to help defray costs towards our food purchases. Our food purchases range from about $125,000 to $150,000 a year. We serve, I believe, 26 members of Mount Desert. I believe that was in there. This is the same, that $3,500 is what we've requested the last 3 years, and we appreciate all your support. I can try my best at any questions you have.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Okay. Next one is Down East Community Partners, which we got an addendum for here. Anybody from Down East Community Partners on?
The name, right?
Yeah.
That's the name on the list.
Rachel Decker. All right. Then moving down the list, Down East Horizons.
Yes, I'm here to represent Down East Horizons. My name is Ashley Johnson. Hello. Down East Horizons is an agency that supports adults and children with developmental disabilities. We've been around since 1974. We do have what we call our MDI Center at the head of the island. Most of you probably pass that on a daily basis. And we also have a residential home on Knox Road that currently 6 individuals live there. We do provide services to 50 individuals for the town of Mount Desert, and that includes children and adults. Currently, total individuals being served is over 280 individuals. And that includes them going to program through MDI Center, our Ellsworth Center, and our Brewer Center. And we also have 9 residential homes in the area total. Each individual has an annual cost to provide services, about a little over $47,000 per person. And if they live in our house, it doubles the cost just because of providing 24-hour care. We appreciate all of your support. The town of Mount Desert has been supporting us for many, many years. We love what we do. The need is definitely there in our community. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Down East Transportation. Island Explorer. Welcome back, Paul. Are you on?
I'm on, yes. Thank you for inviting me. I'm Paul Murphy, Executive Director of Down East Transportation. We are the nonprofit organization that operates public transportation in and around Hancock County, including Island Explorer, our seasonal project, which operates in and around Acadia National Park. We're happy to be coming back to Mount Desert this year after 2 years away. Our funding request is the same that it's been for many years. And I'm assuming most of you are familiar with what we do. If you've got any questions, I'm more than happy to answer.
All right, can I this year, I know you're coming back or planning to, hopefully barring any unforeseen changes in the situation, but are the routes going to be similar to what they were pre-pandemic? Or because we lost at one point some that were curtailed.
Yeah, so the routes will not be the same. If you recall, we have operated in the past 2 routes. The routes will serve the basically the same, all of the same locations, but it will be reduced to 1 route, and that route will operate beginning first. The first route will depart the Northeast Harbor Pier at 8:30 in the morning. The first bus rather, and the first one departing Bar Harbor will leave at 9:15 a.m. The service will operate from Bar Harbor up Eagle Lake Road, past the high school, past Brown Mountain Gatehouse, to Northeast Harbor, then on to Seal Harbor and Jordan Pond, where it will turn around and do that trip in reverse. So it will basically serve all of the locations that we've served in the past in Mount Desert, and the service will operate until 7:15 p.m.
Paul, do you have any plans to move to electric vehicles?
It's interesting you should ask. We have no solid plans to move to electric vehicles, though we are always looking at that possibility. We are part of a Maine Department of Transportation initiative that whose rollout was just announced today. And let me just for the announcement. At any rate, the state has hired a consultant to work with transit properties to electrify their fleets. This is a governor's initiative. We are one of 8 properties throughout the state who has been designated to work with these consultants. So they will be evaluating and it's starting pretty soon. I don't have the date in front of me, but they'll be evaluating our current infrastructure, fleet, and needs, and advising us as to how to move toward electrification. This will come along with, my understanding is at least, it will come along with a pilot program that has funding for both vehicles and infrastructure. So we're moving in that direction.
Great, thank you.
One last, you mentioned going past the high school. Are you stopping at the high school?
Yes.
Okay, so somebody in Southwest Harbor could get to Northeast Harbor without going all the way to Bar Harbor. It's basically that.
Yes, same as
Okay.
it always has been.
All right, well, there was a, yeah, okay, thank you. That's helpful.
Okay, thanks, Paul.
Thank you, everybody. See you in the summer.
Yes.
Great. All right, Eagles Nest Clubhouse.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm Alice from Eagles Nest Clubhouse. We are a mental health recovery program for adults in Hancock. We cover all of Hancock County. We're new. We only opened in May of 2019. So we are for people that tend to isolate in their communities, and we help them with work readiness skills and peer support, group orientation. We have them do side-by-side work, and they operate the clubhouse itself. We're one of 6 clubhouses in the state of Maine, but they have clubhouses all over the world. And I'm new to this, so we're asking for help with promoting our program, buying equipment to help people to learn the work readiness skills.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I have no questions. Anybody
No,
else?
I don't, no.
Thanks, Alice. That was great.
Thank you.
Eastern Area Agency on Aging. Dan Fry, is he on?
Yes, I am here.
Okay.
I'm Dan Fry. I am the development manager for Eastern Area Agency on Aging. Our mission is to provide older adults, caregivers, and adults with disability with the information and access to resources they need to live healthy and engaging lives and supported in the community. We're asking the same amount as we have in the past, $500. In the last year, we have helped 35 different individuals in Mount Desert. And our programs range from community Meals on Wheels, family caregiver support, and information and assistance, just to name a few of our programs.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any questions? No? Great, thank you, Dan. Emea Homeless Shelter.
Ellsworth
Ellsworth
Free
Free
Medical
Medical
Clinic.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, this says, all right, okay, sorry about that. Ellsworth Free Medical Clinic.
I'm here, Mary Cahoon. Hold on. Hi, I'm Mary Cahoon. I'm representing Ellsworth Free Medical Clinic. Some of you may know us or may not. We have been around for close to 30 years. We provide primary medical care to those individuals with no health insurance or those with very high deductibles. We have provided basic primary care as well as referrals to subspecialty, basic laboratory services, and assistance in obtaining medications for those people who cannot afford them. We have a prescription assistance program that last year had a retail value of saving our patients $294,000. We've seen patients, very easy for people to get signed up. They see a practitioner. Almost all the care is provided by volunteers. Our physicians, physician's assistants, and nurses are volunteers. So our annual budget for the time last year was somewhere around $96,000. That's mostly for rent and utilities and operations, etc. So we are a great program. We have wonderful people, and I hope you will consider supporting us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Can I ask, how do you do your outreach so that people that would benefit from your organization know that you exist?
In terms of outreach, a lot of it is word of mouth. People know somebody else, but in the past year, we had patients representing 11 of the 16 Maine counties. From as far away as Cumberland, Aroostook, Kennebec. Most of our people come from Hancock County, Ellsworth, Sullivan, Hancock, the island. We get quite a few from the island. And all those people are assigned a doctor or a physician's assistant based on what their medical needs are. In terms of what we do, we hand out brochures. We have get a lot of grants and put out the word that way. And most of the programs that we have, last year we got money for a dental program. As you well know how difficult it is to get dental care. We've been able to provide at least 30 people with dental services this past year through grant money.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
It does.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else? No? Okay, thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Now Emea Homeless Shelter.
Hello, my name is Stacy Herrick. I'm the director of the Emea Shelter in Ellsworth. As everybody knows, we're a homeless shelter, but what a lot of people don't know is we provide so many different services other than that, just that to our community. We're a food pantry. We do emergency food boxes. People call us up and we are actually delivering them now too, which started because of COVID, making sure we get that stuff to the people who need it. We also have a free clothing store at our shelter, which a lot of people don't know about. So please spread that word, because we're open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and everything in our store is free. And if we don't have the sizes that people need or the items that they need, we do try to do our best to go out and get them for them. We do a Christmas program. We do holiday food boxes. There's a lot that we do. One thing that I want to mention is last year we moved 39% of our people to permanent housing. And in the housing world, that's a big number. That's a pretty good amount to move to permanent housing, especially under the housing crisis that we're under right now. This year, we've had to spend a lot more money on people, helping them with heat and electric and keeping people literally off the streets. This year, more than ever, we have spent thousands of dollars on putting people into motels because their landlords have sold their houses, or, you know, whatever the situation might be, that we've had to do that far more than I've ever done that the entire 7 years that I've been working at the shelter. Granted, some of that was covered by COVID grants and that, but about 25% of the money that we spent was not covered. It came out of our general funding, and that was just to keep people off the streets. We appreciate your past support, and we hope that you will consider continuing it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stacy.
Thank you.
You guys do great work.
Thank you.
Okay, Families First Community Center. Maureen Bartley. All right. All right, Great Harbor Maritime Museum, Sydney.
So I'm not Sydney this evening. She had a last minute confusion. I'm Willie Granston. So Sydney, yeah, sorry, Sydney sends her regrets. Something came up last minute. But I'm joined by Kelsey, and we're both on the board, and we're here this evening seeking $5,500, which is the same as last year, to continue operating public bathrooms on Main Street. We've been doing this now for several years. The town built the bathrooms in 1932, so big, exciting 80-year anniversary of bathrooms on Main Street coming up. And then until a few years ago. These are the only public bathrooms in the business district. And so the museum maintains them now with the support of the town, which is, you know, the tradition with which they were built. In 2020, the bathrooms were closed due to COVID. And in 2021, they were open from about June 15th to the 21st of October, with the exception of 4 days in July due to a sewer pipe issue. But the town also placed porta potties behind the bathroom this past summer, and though they weren't actually beautiful, I have to acknowledge that there are definitely times when all four are being used. We don't keep exact numbers of how often the bathrooms are used, but Martha and Sue, who work at the museum, keep an eye on them and have been doing it for several years, and estimate that easily 2 to 3 times the number of people who go to the museum use the bathrooms. So if our visitorship hovers around 4,500 people a year, that means the bathrooms see more than 12,000 people. These are mostly visitors to town shopping on Main Street. They're also used for the road race, and there are also businesses on Main Street that do not provide restrooms for their workers. So these are used for that too. And the money from the town allows us to hire a person to clean the bathrooms daily and often more than once a day, also to buy supplies and keep them operational. And as Tony knows from his time when he oversaw the bathrooms, they're used a lot, and every year it is shocking how much the supplies cost to keep them going. So we appreciate this, and I know that the Main Street businesses and everyone who uses them do as well.
Okay. Thanks, Willie. Any questions about?
I did have one. It's a bathroom question. How can I pass that up? Well, a few years ago, there was an issue with some residents on Main Street with limited access to facilities in their own housing unit, who I think were utilizing that. Is that still an issue, or do you think we're beyond that?
I think that there is certainly places on Main Street where people live where there is not always adequate access to bathrooms nearby. And so we certainly still deal with certain issues like that. But I think it's certainly better than it has been in the past, Matt. I mean, there were certainly years, and the big issue in some of those years was not just usage, but the amount of vandalism and theft of toilet paper. That's a hot commodity on Main Street in some summers.
All right, I'm glad we're past that.
We are too.
All right. Okay, Health Equity Alliance. Jennifer Thompson.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Thompson, President of Health Equity Alliance. We put in a request for $500 from the town of Mount Desert. And for those of you who do not know us, we are an organization that's 35 years old, serving in the areas of HIV case management, hepatitis C and HIV testing, as well as individuals suffering from substance use disorder. And we have our main office is in Bangor, but our satellite office is in Ellsworth. Last year alone, we served 42 clients from the area. The average individual with HIV with medication would cost the community over $26,000. So by us serving the community, providing support, case management, health services, we are serving the local healthcare organizations, other nonprofits, and just the community in total, over $300,000. I know that there's been a lot of work done in the area of substance use, and we are trying to do more with naloxone training and education in the communities, trying to decrease very quickly the number of overdoses in the community.
Jennifer, are you asking for 500 or 1,500 for this fiscal year?
I'm sorry, 1,500.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that clarification.
Okay, any other questions for Jennifer? No? Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Hospice Volunteers of Hancock County. Jody?
Yes, hi. Thank you for having me. And thank you for your support for Hospice Volunteers of Hancock County over many years. And we appreciate the partnership very much. Our mission services are to provide support to patients and their caregivers who are dealing with life-limiting journeys. And the caregiver load when caring for someone at home is great, as many of you know. And our mission services are three-pronged. The patient care and caregiver support is one. Bereavement support, grief support to those who are grieving. And during this pandemic, the demand for grief support has been huge as people have racked up more and more losses in many ways. And then finally, we do our third prong of our mission services is community education on related topics. And we have been extremely active during COVID. One of the silver linings, if you will, has been the ability to provide such widespread education and support via electronic means. And we've offered in the last fiscal year, 33 educational programs via Zoom with an average of about 20 people per program. And they range everything from resources that are available to help caregivers to helping people do their advanced care directives to self-care, how to care for oneself while isolated, just many, many things. Our services are provided free of charge. We are an independent organization. We are licensed by the state as an independent volunteer hospice program. And we partner with extensively the medical hospice programs in the county and are very proud of that relationship because it really serves our neighbors well. They get the medical help that they need through the Medicare certified hospices is another name for them, shorthand medical hospice. And then the volunteer program like ours, which is independent. And while we have limited resources, we're able to use those resources very creatively to respond to the needs as they are requested. We seek support from, I think it's 34 towns throughout Hancock County. And last year, 29 of those towns did support us with a financial gift. A couple of them were just $100, but I think 7 or 8 of them were for $1,500, which is the highest amount we received from one town, including Mount Desert, which is the amount we have asked you for the last several years. And so the aggregate of all that support from the towns makes up just about 8% of our operating budget. So it's significant. And yet we're not asking any one town to, cover more than your share of the load, if you will. But it just really represents a partnership between the residents of Hancock County, town by town, and us. Our volunteers come from their own communities and serve in their own communities. And, it's our commitment to provide well-trained and well-supported volunteers to provide these services. So thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything for Jody?
Thanks, Jody.
Thanks,
you.
Jody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Island Connections.
Hi, my name is Sharon Linscott, and I am the new Executive Director of Island Connections. I've been there about a month and a half. So I want to thank the town of Mount Desert and all of its residents for all your support over the years. We are entering our 25th year of providing free transportation to seniors and people with disabilities from MDI and the surrounding islands, which helps enhance their independence and their quality of life. And we use our core group of very dedicated volunteers to do that. In 2021, we served 49 residents of the town of Mount Desert with a total of 466 rides benefiting those residents, which is about 10% of our overall 2021 ride total of 4,808. These numbers do not include the delivery of meals and food that we do for the Meals on Wheels and the Food Access Project. Our partnering organizations track the recipients of those programs, and all we do is provide the transportation. Our request of $2,500 is used toward our overall operations, and it's about 10% of our operating budget.
All right. Anything for?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Island Housing Trust. Is Marla on?
Hi, yes, I'm here. I'm Marlo Byrne, and I'm the Executive Director of Island Housing Trust. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about what we do and our request for $7,500 for our homeownership assistance program. Island Housing Trust is a nonprofit working island-wide to create year-round housing opportunities for people who earn a median income from work on Mount Desert Island. The homeownership assistance program was created around 2010, 2011, and in that 10-year period, we have invested just about $500,000 helping home buyers with down payments to purchase houses across the island. In Mount Desert, we've helped homeowners with $125,000 for their down payments to purchase. We found that often not in current days, obviously, but often the one obstacle to purchasing a home was to come up with sufficient down payment to get the best terms for mortgage and to bring the house price down enough. We ensure the affordability of these houses by putting covenants on them when they're sold and purchased. And that means that it creates, it provides a resale formula when the houses come up for sale. Whatever Island Housing Trust has put into the purchase of that house through assistance remains with the house. So it's deducted from what the homeowner can sell that house for. And that ensures that those prices remain tied to median income and affordable to people who are working here and keep them in the year-round homeownership. We are asking all 4 towns to participate in this program. This year, we just completed a program in Hall Quarry and provided just about $70,000 towards that purchase. In the past, our average assistance funding was in the $30,000 range, but as property prices rise, we become a little more creative in how we do this and provide assistance. So I want to say thank you. The town has provided homeownership assistance program funding to Island Housing Trust over the past several years, which we've been grateful for and has enabled us to keep this program going. But you've also partnered with us through donations of property and other creative ways. So we really appreciate this partnership with the town. And any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thanks, Marla.
Yeah.
Anything from anybody? No? All right, thank you.
Okay.
Lifelight, Ashley.
It's actually Kate O'Haller, and I'm the executive director. Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry I can't be with you. I'm in Fairfield. It's a tough night for travel. I want to just start by saying thank you. You have been incredible in your support. You have supported Lifelight for the past 8 years. Our ask this evening is for you to consider a gift of $1,000 again this year, which is what you have done the past 6 years. Lifelight is a nonprofit. We serve the state of Maine 24/365. We have a fleet of 3 helicopters, 1 fixed wing plane, a NICU neonatal transport, and some ground support vehicles. Our bases are in Bangor, Lewiston, and Sanford, and we travel around the state. It's been a very busy and challenging year, frankly, with the pandemic, as well as increased tourism, as I'm sure you know. In last fiscal year, we transported 2,303 patients. If you do the math, that's generally about 1 patient every 4 hours, but there were a lot of weekends over the summer that we were running a mission about 1 mission every 2.5 hours. In terms of your citizens, since Lifelight was founded in 1998, we have transported 139 citizens. 9 of those were in the last fiscal year, and we also did 18 scene calls. So it's been busy. Town giving is very important to us. We set a goal this year of trying to get $125,000 from towns. I'm happy to say that we're halfway through the fiscal year and we're just over 100,000. But when we go out and we talk with other foundations and private donors, they all want to know what's happening from the towns and how that works. In addition, we're much more than the helicopters. That gets a lot of press. A lot of what we do is hospital to hospital transport. In fact, this year, that's about 85%. And that's very, very important. As I say, the reach and relevance of the Lifelight mission is more important than ever before, because we're now all paying attention to ventilators and ICU beds, and Lifelight plays a very critical role in that process of moving people. And we really depend on and appreciate support to do that. So happy to answer any questions that you have. In addition to the helicopters, we partner, we do ground safety courses, we do some education, and we really do see Lifelight as just being one piece in what we call is chain of survival. And it's challenging and important work for all of us who live and love Maine. So happy to answer any questions and really thank you for all that you've done and thank you for your consideration again this year.
Thanks, Kate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So I know this is kind of picking you, but here we go. If I look at your expenses, you have $25,000 in bank charges as expenses?
Bank charges are what we pay, processing charges. And so unfortunately or fortunately, we raise money, and when we raise a lot of money through an event, it's called the Cross for Life Flight. And a lot of that is peer-to-peer fundraising, and those bank charges are the credit card fees. Great question, and I can tell you, we actually just changed service providers so that we could try to reduce those, because my board asked the same questions.
It's kind of like the highway robbery. I mean, you're doing a really good thing and then you just get taken to the cleaner.
Yeah, and it's a great point, and it's challenging because, you know, we need that online portal, and when people want to give online, but everybody takes a piece. And so that's why we do aggressively every year. We go out and we try to shop around and find a way to get those donations that's intuitive and supportive for the users, but that would reduce the fees, because it takes a big hit. That's money that could go directly to saving patients. So good question.
Thank you.
Any other questions at any time? Please let us know.
Okay, thank you. All right. Very good. All right, that brings our third-party requests to an end for the evening. And I guess we'll resume on Thursday?
Thursday.
Yes. All right.
Round two.
And then when we get through all of them, then we discuss them.
The next week,
Okay.
yeah. Then you have like 40 of them close to the side, yeah.
Okay. Fair
I'd
enough.
like to ask one question.
Yep.
Will there be any consideration of anyone that did not make it tonight to have a second chance to come again on Thursday, just to eliminate the confusion of that question?
Well, we'll certainly consider the Red Cross if they come in on
Thank
Thursday.
you. That was what I was
Yeah.
hoping for too.
I mean, I can't imagine, it's.
We had
Anyway.
families
You want to
with
confirm that
3 that weren't
Rachel
here.
Bell's not on the call still?
3 of them.
You never-
3,
you
yeah.
never checked in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we'd certainly entertain it.
Yeah, sure.
If somebody asks.
Red Cross and Downey's Community Partners, which is,
And families first.
yeah, putting people in houses, which is, okay.
We just hate to slam the doors on.
Yeah, no, we're not.
We haven't done any of that.
Thank you though for that,
Yep.
taking that, Joe.
I do think though that I would hope that they would show up on Thursday, because it's not fair to the people who make the effort for those that let it slide to not get here. If there's a real reason they couldn't make it for one reason or another, they contact us, if they come on Thursday, that's one thing, but if they just
pretty
assuming
clear.
the grant, I don't go for that.
Oh, no.
I'll give them the information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's.
I think we'll also just have to offer that same opportunity if there's someone originally scheduled for Thursday that is unable to show up, that we could decide if we want to give them another spot on the agenda at some point.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
Makes sense.
Okay, Carmen, you have a question?
Thanks. Thanks, John. Just for clarification, for the Island Explorer, did Paul say that yes, a bus was going through Soamesville towards Southwest?
Well, he did say that you could get from Southwest Harbor to Northeast Harbor without going to Bar Harbor, which means, and just as it was before, what you would do is take that same Southwest Harbor run and get off at the high school and wait for the Brown Mountain run. That was my main, because I know that a couple years ago there was a question about, I forget exactly what it was, but a route curtailment that was going to involve something that wasn't going to make some of us happy.
Right. Thank you. Right.
Okay. So, other business, any other business? Nope. Treasurer's warrants. Approve and sign treasurer's warrants, town invoices AP 2248 in the amount of $255,242.45.
Move approval and signature.
Second.
Good, all in favor? State fees and payroll benefits, AP 2246, AP 2247, and PR 2218 in the amount of $166,497.40.
Move signature.
Second.
All in favor? One abstention. Okay. School invoice number 17 in the amount of $189,139.42.
Move signature.
Acknowledgement, I mean, is that?
Yep.
Yep, sorry.
Second. All in favor? All right. I will accept a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
All in favor?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
is that related to the meeting you and I attended last week?
Yes.
Should I attend this meeting?
Yes, I do think so.
Okay, thank you. This is the first okay, thank you.
Where are you having the executive session?
In there.
He's up at the wastewater.
He can
can't-
drive
he
down.
can't stay.
Can we
Can he come down?
just
clear the room
Can we
here.
clear the room here and then just?
We'll have to leave.
Well, can't we do it
Can't
in
we
the other,
do it in the other room?
TV?
Don't we have?
You gotta log off here, you gotta log in down there.
Tony, are you at the wastewater? Are you up on
Wait,
St.
can we get
Carlos?
Tony to
Can you
call on the
drive
conference
down?
phone in the other room? Is that
Yeah,
still
you
there?
can just call on the conference phone.
Why can't he just drive down there?
You could.
He could call on the conference phone in the other room. He's about to respond.
Yep.
Okay. What's your pleasure, Mr. Chairman?
Why don't you drive down?
Okay, I'll be down momentarily.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Did you get a motion to go to executive session?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did we vote on it?
Yeah. Good. I love when somebody else is in that position. I can't remember. Good.